Here we live, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the biggest updates OpenAI just released for ChatGPT. And I know I've said that before, but it just keeps getting crazier and crazier, right? And the year hasn't ended, so who knows? So they released a lot of things, and I'm going to pack them up in a bit, okay? So I'm going to start with the Turbo, the GPT Turbo. Right, so basically it's a more advanced version of GPT-4, which as you can see over here, and what it does is it's like GPT on steroids, GPT-4 on steroids, right? Because it's capable, it's more cheaper, and it supports a whole lot more. One of the things I like about it is that it uses more, you could put more content in the search bar, right? You could send in more stuffs, more words, up to about more than 300 pages of text in a single prompt, as opposed to the way it used to be before, right? And it also has knowledge of world events up to April 2023 as used, unlike September 2021, right? So this is just the basic updates. I'm going to be going to the biggest one in a bit, right? But I just wanted to mention this. Also, another thing that's worth mentioning is the interface. Okay, so gone are those days where you have to, select which one you want to use, the normal ChatGPT, or you want to use the plugin version, or you want to use the browsing version and all that, right? It's automatically, first of all, the design looks good. I mean, you could easily close it and open it right over here. Then if you want to incorporate everything, you can see the option right here. One single option has the opportunity to use daily browsing analysis, and also TP 3.5 obviously if you want to use it, right? So, but I'm going to be going back to the super exciting updates, which is the GPTs. Okay, so introducing GPTs, right? I'm going to be showing you exactly what this is. I will show you exactly how to create it, and also a bonus at the end. So let's get straight into the GPTs right now. So the biggest news of the week is you can now create custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extra knowledge, and any combination of skills. Basically, you can create your mini agents, right? It hasn't gotten to that level yet, but you can create something like a creative writing coach, a laundry buddy, a tech advisor, a game. I think I gotta show you to understand what I'm talking about, right? But this is a game changer, right? So let's go over to ChatGPT so you can get more understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, with ChatGPT 4, right? If you want to create a GPT, as you can see over here, at the top left, you can see ChatGPT. This was one of the not custom. Let me explain. So you go to explore over here, right? And ChatGPT has its own, OpenAI has its own ChatGPT agents that is created. I think that's what I'm going to call them, agents, right? So as you can see over here, there is, the data analysis, there's DALL-E, there's game time, there's negotiator, there's creative writing coach, there's cosmic dream, right? So these individuals, right, individual agents are specific to the task that is given, right? And they can become really customized. So over here you can see create a GPT, customize a version of ChatGPT for a specific purpose, right? So we're going to create our own right now. I tested this Gen Z meme and it was really good. You could try it out, right? So let's see, create a GPT. So now we want to create our own GPT. So as you can see, this is the interface. Over here at the right is how it's kind of like a preview of how it's going to look like once it's live. So as we're creating it over here, we can test it over here to see how, when people are using it or you are using it, how it looks like and how it works. So over here you can see ChatGPT Builder. I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like make a creative video, helps generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer who helps format my code. So what would you like to make? So it's going to ask you. It's a pretty straightforward stuff. And what I would say here is one of the cases or instances where I would recommend not being too technical, right? Here you're allowed to be as basic and as simple as possible when you are sending in the prompt, because you're not doing the normal prompt engineering that we normally do when you're chatting with ChatGPT. You're just telling it exactly what you want to make, right? So be as simple as possible, no pressure, okay? So I'm going to start with I want to make a world-class personal trainer, right? So I'll put it here, make a world-class personal trainer. So let's see. So you see custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extra knowledge, and capabilities for specific purpose. Here, get started, which I have started already. So you can see great. Immediately as we did that already, it's has brought up options at the right already, right? And with 4 different options. So you can see great, we're creating a world-class personal trainer GPT. Let's give it a name that's easy to remember and reflects its purpose. So how about Fit Pro Coach? Would you like to keep this name, or do you want another in mind? I want another one, right? So give me another one. So it says fitness mentor. Well, I mean, I'm not cool with it, but for just the sake of this video, let's go with fitness mentor. Okay. So yeah, that's okay. Yes, that's fine. Okay, let me anyways, so it updates it in real time. Okay, so now it wants to generate a profile picture. So here's the profile picture we've generated for fitness mentor. It features a dynamic silhouette of a person in a fitness pose against a vibrant gradient. Do you like this image for this over there? So I'm cool with this, right? If you don't like it, you just say you don't like it, and to give you another one using DALL-E 3, but I'm fine with it. So yes, I'm fine with this. So now it wants to refine the role of your GPT. So it's called fitness mentor. As you can see over here, it has a nice image. So it's asking what specific fitness goals should it focus on when helping users. For example, should it specialize in weight loss, muscle building, general wellness, or something else, right? I would say for this particular one, I want muscle building. Okay, so again, it's left to you if you want it to be general, if you want it to be weight loss or general, but for this particular one, I will use muscle building. And again, if you want it to be all, it's fine. So as you can see, with the focus on muscle building, fitness mentor will now offer tailored advice on resistance training, proper form, progressive overload, and nutrition tips to support muscle growth. So what type of exercises or training methods should be emphasized or avoided in its recommendations? So this is a very, very important one, avoided. So if you have content that you want it to avoid sharing, right, this is the best place to put it. I don't have any at the moment, but again, it's really, really, really important, right? So, but before I continue, there's one thing I wanted to, let me see. So for this, I will just put none at the moment. If you have, make sure you put it over there. So yeah, now understood. So let's discuss how fitness mentor should interact with users. Should you take a more formal coaching approach or a friendly and casual tone? And additionally, when uncertain about user requests, would you prefer to ask for clarification or make an educated guess based on typical muscle building queries? So for here, I want it to respond like David Goggins, right? So that's the first question I answered. Then when uncertain about user requests, would you prefer to ask for clarification or make a, so I want it to ask for clarification. So yep, I've answered the 2 questions. And as we're doing this, is, like I said, it's literally building the, your ChatGPT bot. Something seems to have gone wrong. Okay, let's see. I think we made it. Okay, so yeah, I needed to reload it because the first time I don't know why it went wrong. So regardless, as we're doing it, is updating it in real time. Okay, so our fitness mentor, as you can see, GPT updated once it's loading. So you can see it says it has a direct and motivational style similar to David Goggins. How do you envision it personalized interaction? Should you remember previous conversation to build on past advice or treats in? So yes, I wanted to remember previous conversations, right? Because it's going to be a follow-up to personal trainer, and just like a real life personal trainer, they have your data, they have where you're coming from, so it's easier to recommend the right stuff for you. So here it is, says fitness mentor is now set up to remember past interactions, offering a more personalized and continuous training experience. I recommend trying out fitness planning in the playground, which is a separate chat dialogue to the right. How does that sound? So now it's telling us to try it, right? But before I do that, one last thing I want to tell it is that it should be clear, simple, and step by step on what the user needs to do. I want it to also respond in a clear, simple, and step by step on what users needs to do, right? So now I'm going to move over to this playground and let's test it out in real time. But in the meantime, just one thing I also want to mention is that sometimes you might get errors when you're doing this, right? So don't fret. All you have to do is just reload or regenerate the response. As you can see, this was 2 of 2. So the first time it showed an error, and over here, so this was 3 of 3. So for the first 2 times it showed an error, although I caught it, but just to know, sometimes it does bring up error messages. So on the side, and so again, it has updated. So let's move over to test this. So right now you can see the 4 options: create a workout plan for weight loss, how do I improve my endurance, what are the best upper body exercises, and the likes. So I want to keep it very interesting. So I would say, because I would say, okay, I'll upload an image myself. I just want to test it out to see how it will work. And I would say, help me create a plan that will transform the person in the image to Michael B. Jordan's physique in the movie titled Creed 3 in 12 months or less. So yeah, I want to test this out and let me see what it brings out. So as you can see, it says to achieve a physique, you need to focus on a comprehensive plan that includes proper nutrition, consistent strength training, cardiovascular work, and recovery. So since individual needs and obviously can vary widely, it's essential to adjust this plan according to the person's current fitness level, health status, and personal constraints. Here's a simplified structure to get started. So here it is. I don't think it's ready image, to be honest, but in due time we will know. Let's just keep it basic for now and simple. We're still gonna go deep dive into this in another video, but let's just keep it simple. So as you can see, it's bringing out the nutrition, calorie surplus, it's bringing up the macronutrition, the strength training, step by step, exactly as we say, simplified structure to get started. And it does a pretty good job, right? So there's one more thing I want to do for this. So yeah, this was the results, pretty detailed. So I want to move over to configure over here. As you can see here, the instructions of everything, and obviously here is the conversation starters. You can add and you can remove the conversation starters, those things that we saw, the first 4 options. You can also upload files. So if you have a document that you want to act as a data knowledge base, you could upload it over here. And the capabilities, if you wanted to have code interpreter, I wanted to have code interpreter too, right? Web browsing, DALL-E, image generation. I think because code interpreter wasn't on, maybe that was why that image wasn't. Regardless, right? Any other thing here is how you can customize it, right? So I want to add something to this instruction over here. So I want to say end every response with stay hard. Okay, that's it. And let us test it out. So I would want to say, help me create a list of foods to avoid to reach the goal faster. Let me see. So here it is. To reach your muscle building goals faster, you want to avoid foods that can undermine your progress. And here's a list of here's a list to guide you. As you can see, sugars, alcohol, deep fried foods, high fats, white bread, and the list goes on. So this is what I'm looking for. Be consistent, make smart food choices, and stay hard, right? So I mean, here it is, right? And obviously, if you're done with it, right, and you're happy with it, you could just move over to the top right. And you save if you want it to only be you. If you want people with link, if it's your colleagues, your friends, or families, you want to share it to, or if you want it to be public. And here is the amazing thing that I said I was going to say at the ending, which is I'm really looking forward to it, and it's quite fascinating. I'm looking at how this is going to go forward. So apparently by the end of not by the end of the month, but sometime this month, OpenAI is going to allow people to be able to share their ChatGPT to the stores. So you'll be able to sell your creations as your ChatGPTs, the ones you create, and share revenue with OpenAI, right? And that's an amazing opportunity, right? So it's something I want you to know in advance, so you can start thinking about the GPTs to create if you want to create that, and make some money in the process, right? So again, I'm going to do a deep dive on how to make this better, but this is just the basic, and I really hope you found this useful. I'm excited about this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you want to use it, the kind of GPTs you want to create, and how it's going to be useful to you, right? So without further ado, please do subscribe for more of this, and I will see you in the next video.